Hello tubes. Had a long day, but I'm going to do this unboxing of this here pump, which came off eBay from Edison's, and we've been there before. In regards to the Bomag chainsaw, but we're not here to talk about the saw. We're here to unbox this pump, which can't remember exactly what it was called, but it's an 8 horsepower pump. I looked on eBay. Obviously I bought it. I also looked on YouTube to find this pump. The reviews look really good, really good. 8 horsepower, 235 cc, I believe. I'll double check that one. I think that's roughly about the GX. I think that's GX 240. We look at them motors. GX 160, it's 160 cc's. GX 200 is about 212. GX 140 is 140 cc's. You know, the GX 35 is about 35 to 38 cc's. So I just sort of went, okay, well, if this is 235 to 240, probably the GX 240 clone. Obviously, some writing went across the screen saying whether I was right or wrong. We have got some foam. I'll probably have to cut this bloody box open up here. Foam. Oh, beautiful. Ah, thanks God. At the top of the pump, the outlet. Me and a mate were looking at that and we were going, is that plastic? Because you've got a red housing and in a black piece on top it looked like plastic. Like some plastic fittings. I said, I hope not. Hopefully I've just painted it black. Folks, it's metal. It's black. It's painted. Oh, I'll just get the camera down here. That's metal. Geez, I was friggin' worried about that. I was saying, well, if it's plastic, I'll just put plastic fittings on there and bugger those if I need to bugger them. Yeah, just nice looking. Let's get her out. We've got a few things in here, but this, I've lifted that foam piece and this is the first thing I saw. I wonder what the air filter looks like, whether it's the standard air filter that the Hondas use or whether they've done their own thing. Bit of a ding in the muffler there, that's alright. It's already pulled back out. Or if they've got their own thing, I'll have to get those as spare. I'll just put you back up here on the just those wedges up in here with all the degrees. Make sure the bloody camera is pointing the right way. Don't knock the pump over. I reckon you can see that, can't you? Right. As you may know, I don't do much editing. I film with a phone. I don't get paid. I'm not endorsed by anyone. I drive log trucks full time, and I actually prefer it that way. Oh, the weight of this. Get that out of there. Actually looks very nice. I'm actually quite excited about this. Let's just wind that in. Oh, you run the best oils too in it, for some take. We have a toolkit. Oh, bring this down here. The whole box apparently weighed 29 kilos. Oh, it's hot in here. Here's the tools, fittings and stuff. What's in the box? Instructions. Edison's lied about the chainsaw there, which we covered. It's a 70cc. It's a what do you call it? What do you call it? It's a Husqvarna 372 clone, but it's a good saw for 250 bucks. Like, why would you do the lawsuit? Just for people who are talking about suing them. A lot of them are doing that. The Chinese chainsaw, it's not here. It was meant to be 72 cc's. It was 50. Put oil in it. Use non-ethanol unleaded only. Only run premium anyway. I do not run that garbage in my stuff. The only black... Oh, geez, that's beefy. That's huge. I'm guessing that all the parts to do with starting are going to be red. If something ever happened to this, could I just slap a GX 240 cover on here and... Alright, let's look at the air filter. That's something I'm wondering about. We'll look at those tools in a sec. What does the air filter look like? Oh, it's some wanky thing that they've done. Actually looks alright. So, they're not the worst company in the world. So, you know, sometimes you just got to give a little, take a little. Put the instructions in the spark plug tool with its little thing in there. I like that. It's got a second filter inside. Oh yeah, draws through there, comes out there. Crikey, folks. Can you even get spares for that? You just wash them, you just clean them. The only video I saw, a guy got this exact same pump off Kogan. Don't forget the wing nut. And it appeared that the sump, the crankcase cover, it had been dropped or something happened and it was leaking oil everywhere. It sounded good in the video, but leaking oil everywhere. Don't overdo it. And I thought, well, if worse comes to worse, like these pumps aren't hard to get off. Change the cover, GX240. If my research was wrong, it'll be in a text on the screen, but I believe it would be a GX240 cover. That's nice. It all looks pretty nice. The oil, are they screw-in, or they would be because it's GX, just Honda clone. So they're saying it's got a 4.5 litre fuel tank instead of the standard 3.6 litre that you usually have. Will it say on here? I don't know. But yeah, obviously. Oh crap. It's had a long day. Let's look at these now. I've got all my own stuff. Hang on, I'll show you my setup. Here's the setup. So, as you are aware, Australia was burning, kind of is still burning. It nearly took out the parents' place. We were actually trapped in there. I can draft water, do all kinds. There's a 2-inch line, 2 inches just all they had. That's 1.5 inch. So 50mm is 2 inch, 40mm is 1.5 inch, and there's your 1 inch lines, millimeters. I don't know. And all I done, if I want to draft water, start to circulate first, drop my hose in the water, and then slowly open this up and slowly close that valve off. It'll self-prime. When I get this pump going, its first start will happen after it's been plumbed up to here. It won't start dry. You can just pour water in the top, but I want to set it up, do it all properly. And then when I get out the farm this weekend, away from the suburban area, I'm going to actually run it. So I reckon it'll run for 5 hours. This is Dad's Briggs and Stratton. You saw me do that quick video on. He can have it back. I'm still after a carby for it. But this Briggs are good, but they've made this one bloody impossible to work on. Stupid, like to pull the carby off, you gotta get all this crap off. So I'm putting my pump on, Dad's pump. You'll get it back. I'll eventually get a new carby for it. I'll get it out there, put a full tank of fuel in, I'll start it, I'll open the bottom tap but leave the top tap shut. That will wet inside, but it won't load the motor. Once it's warmed up, idling, I'll open the top. It'll go under load. It'll start circulating what's in this tank, which is only about 200 litres. If I need water quick, I can draft water. It'll only take me about 3 minutes to fill this up from empty, so it'll probably take me 2.5 minutes or so. Once it's I'll let it half throttle for a few minutes, really get it warmed up. Then I'll just wide open, let the governor control it, and I'll let it run until it runs out of fuel. And then when that happens, I'll consider that good enough, and I'll drop the oil. Give it a oil flush. Like put some clean oil in there again and give it a flush. Not this one, obviously. The other one. Give it a, put some clean oil in it. Let that run for a couple of minutes and then drop it. Then put fresh oil in just to get anything out of it. You give it the best chance possible, Still haven't got these open. Let me just open that bag. Hang on. Righto. I'll put the contents of the bag on this here so you can look at it. They're metal too. They are metal. Folks, they're not plastic. That's plastic. That's okay. That's a plastic basket, which is fine. Got the hose clamps and whatnot in there with gas seals. These are metal. The parts that actually, so that goes on your hose, and that goes on your pump, with the addition of a, if that's the right size, yes it is. Everything apart from that rubber O-ring is metal. So that can all go back in there, because I've actually got all my fittings, but it's good that they're there. But folks, that's metal there. Obviously that's metal as well. Those are metal. I'm not even going to put the bag. Bloody. They can go in the hose drawer. Will they fit? Just good enough. Put it right in front of you. No. Find somewhere to put those anyway. Yeah. It's all metal. All of it. But from a couple of things. And the only video I found was that guy. He actually had a crack. You've probably seen it yourself. You've been looking for a video on this pump. You've probably seen his video. And you're hoping they're not all like that because you've seen the reviews and they're good. Well, I suppose, has it had oil in it? Has it been fired? It's had oil in it. So they've had oil in it, they've fired the engine, I assume, and they've drained the oil, so they've made sure it ran. I know to double check all that stuff. I have that warning on one side, not the other, because you don't need it on both sides. And what does this say? Just get in there. And these engines, you just the oil up to the bloody basically neck there. Unlike the generator where it was very finicky, these are more forgiving. The lid is a screw type. Sometimes those ones at the typical Honda tanks, sometimes, especially with a bit of use, it can be finicky to get them back in. That's good. It's got the filter as well. And actually, if you look closely, it is that typical type, and they've got this insert and put it inside. This was originally just put the lid in and snap it shut. And they've tack welded that insert in. And you know what? If I can find somewhere where I can get those inserts and these fuel caps, I'd do the same. Yeah, so obviously don't use shitty fuel. Don't overfill it. Don't drink it. Don't put it in your coffee. Buddy, don't inject it into your veins. With the crazy stuff these kids are doing these days. Hang on. I say to a kid, don't drink the fuel. Don't inject it. Don't bloody sniff it. Don't do none of this stuff. That kid will probably come back and say, okay, boomer. Before even doing their homework to find that I'm only 27 years old. Born in 1992. So I'm not a boomer. I'm so happy that's metal. I'm going to send photos to me mate. How easy is that to get on? Beautiful. Glides on. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep, it's got the one-way valve in there. You don't need them. They're handy. They make it a bit easier. But you don't need, if that valve fails, you don't need it. You can bit more work involved getting it primed and stuff, but you don't need that valve. It's good, but you don't need it. Better to have it, but you don't need it. It's not essential to this pump's operation. What you can also do is undo these, and you can actually configure, if you needed that outlet there, or you needed, you could, but you wouldn't. Because you see what I mean. Alright, I'm just going to stop this video here, go to the next bit where I actually don't have any oil with me. I'll get some oil, and I think the rest of it will actually happen at the farm. So yeah, it's it's Wednesday now. Let's teleport to Saturday. It's only the next day, folks. It's not the weekend because hooked this up a bit differently. The same principle applies, but obviously it needed to be configured differently. So we're going to do the start now. So here goes nothing. Make sure they're tight. Yep. You're going to see me without a shirt on. Once I put the cap back on. I like that. Oh, it's got the over. Can't over tighten it. This is the first start. So idle that way, fast that way. So we want the choke on and the fuel on. I've got that tap on over there already. So the actual, it's wet inside. You've got this here in the on position. This has never been fired. It's already got oil. It's got 10W40 fully synthetic. It's all I had. So it'll over break in with a good oil. This is the first time I pulled the spark plug out, greased the threads and put it back in. It was actually pretty tight, but I did that, so that's good. And what I found, the spark plug had been fired, so they definitely fire them before it leaves the shop. Well, this one's not leaking oil. I could use more thread tape. I'll let that warm up a bit first. Oh, this cap's open. That's why it's under load. Hear the change in tone? So make sure this is tight. I might need to go through and put more thread tape around it, but yeah. Now I'll unload this. I need more thread tape. That's fine. That's nice. Let that warm up. There's some warmth in the block already. I put a little bit more oil in than they say, a little bit more for hills and stuff, but not too much more. Very loud either. I'll let that run for a bit. I'll just hit pause and come back after a few minutes. Run for a little while, I'll give you a full noise. What I'll also do is get the hose. Hang on. I might get a better nozzle, but just for demonstration purposes. Not bad. Full noise. Oh, here you go, close the top tap. Oh, fuck. Go full noise. Holy shit! Oh! Righto! Righto! Now turn the recirculate back on. Right. Turn the recirculate back on. Yeah, right. So the recirculate valve is back on and that's still going. And the only way to turn this off is that. Righto. Now it'll unload. You'll hear it. You can hear the difference now. There we go. Let it run out. That other pump, when it came, it had a sump full of fuel. At least it's not really sitting with fuel in the bowl. It's premium fuel, but anyway. Might actually load that up just to use the fuel up quick, because it will. If you want to use the fuel up quicker, you just load the engine. That's under load now. Bastard. Hang on. Hey. Going too much too quick. It's a lovely bit of gear. It's not too loud. It should run out of fuel any minute now. Any second. Come on. It's raining right now. Just starting to. I'm not complaining one bit. But tomorrow afternoon when I finish work, I'll draft some water, have a bit of a play. But that's another video. Here we go. Yeah, righto. So actually out of fuel. Well, it is. The bowl's empty. So that's how I do it. My generator? Well, no. I turn a generator off with the switch. I don't even think there's a tap for it. Lawnmowers, if it's got a tap, I turn the tap off and let the bowl empty. Because they're so good on fuel, they run for ages unless you load them up. And that's good right there, just on the back of the ute like that. Folks, it's not leaking oil like the other bloke's video was. And my little setup here is quite nice. Thanks for watching, and there will be more on this pump in the near future. See ya.